Hello everyone. Today we are going to spend some time going over the check for understanding that you just completed on measures of center, stem and leaf, and circle graphs. So there were 5 questions. I'm going to start by going over questions 1 through 3 in this video, and then the next video we'll take a look at questions 4 and 5. So let's take a look at questions 1 through 3. To begin, it says the Chapter 5 test scores from a science class are displayed in the stem and leaf plot below. Okay, and then after they give you this data, they're going to ask you some questions about mean, median, and range. So before we can answer those, we need to understand how to read this stem and leaf plot. So you always want to look to the key. So the key tells you how to read it. So if we have 4 on the left and 9 on the right, they're telling us that means 49. So it looks like my stems are my tens digit, and then my leaves are my ones digit. So this would be 49. Then I have 55, 57. So what I like to do is I like to take a look at the data, write out all of your data values. Okay, so just so you can get an idea of the numbers you're working with. So I have 49, I have 55 and 57. Okay, if I go down to my next row here, this would be, I have 266, and then I have a 68, so 66, 66, and 68. I'm going to have 72, 3 78s. I have 84, 85, 87, 88, and another 88. Okay, so you first want to make sure that you know how to read that stem and leaf plot so you can pull out those data values. Now, question 1 asks me, what is the mean of the data, round to the nearest tenth? So you should know that for mean, we are looking to add up all the data values and divide by how many there are. So you want to take all these numbers, add them together. So I'll give you a moment to go ahead and do that. Okay, and when you do that, you will get a sum of 1,099. Remember, we can use this symbol for our mean. It's called our X bar, so it's an X with a line above it. And then I'm going to divide by however many data values I have. So if you count up your leaves, that tells you how many data values. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So I'm going to divide my sum by 15. I get about 73.3. So the instructions said to round to the nearest tenth. So it came out to be 73.26 repeating. So that would be about 73.3. Okay, question 2 says, what is the median of the data? So I'm looking for my middle number. Remember, median is the number in the middle. Okay. Now for my median, I'm looking for that center number. So if I have 15 data values, my center number is going to be my 8th data value. And you can cross off one from the left, one from the right until you find that center value. I know it's going to be the 8th one because that means I have 7 data values below that number and 7 above it. You want to make sure you always list your numbers in order from least to greatest, though. That's important before you find the median. So here's my median. So my median is going to be right here at 78. I have 7 data values below that 78, and I have 7 above it. And then question 3, what is the range? You can find the range by taking your largest number or your maximum minus your smallest number or your minimum. So if I look at my data, my largest number was 88. Minus my smallest number, which was 49. Subtract those two, I get a range of 39. Now, if you have your graphing calculator in front of you, whether you have your own or you're using one that you downloaded from online, you can use your graphing calculator to check your work here. So if you go to your graphing calculator, you would have to start by entering the data. So if you hit your stat button, the first option that comes up is edit. That's what we want because we're going to edit a list. We're going to put our data values in. Okay, so to save us a little bit of time, I went ahead and put those in, but you would just take the numbers from the stem and leaf plot, insert them into list 1. Once you have all your numbers inputted, then you're going to do second mode. That's the quit button. It takes you back to your home screen. You want to go back into that stat menu because now we need to calculate our mean and our median. So we've entered the data. Now we need to calculate those values we're looking for. So when you hit the stat button, here's the menu that comes up. We want to scroll over this time to the calculate menu because we're trying to calculate some answers here. I want my first option, which is my one variable statistic, so hit enter. It's just going to basically ask you lists. That just means which list did you put your numbers in. We put them in list 1, but if you ever need to change that, the list titles are right above the numbers 1, 2, and 3 on your calculator, but they are in blue. So you would just have to hit the blue button first. But that is correct. So I'm just going to hit enter 3 times. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, what comes up here is a lot of information, but definitely some information that I need. This first line is my X bar, so that's my mean, which you can see that's exactly what we got. We got about 73.3. You are going to have to scroll down here to find the median, but it's right here. Your median is 78. And then they also give you your minimum data value and your maximum data value, which would be very helpful when you're finding the range. So definitely a nice way to check your work. But once again, your answers for questions 1 through 3 should have been B for number 1, A for number 2, so A 78, and for number 3 you should have gotten 39, which was letter C.